Nak menyentak kotoran degil? Jom susahkan lagi cabaran kita. Tambah satu scoop vanish dan biarkan opsi action tanggalkan kotoran dengan
Jangan dalam dikit-dikit besar. Saya bilik tau.
Hai Cikgu Pang. Good evening.
Hello, Encik Nasa. Good evening.
Sekejap lagi kita mula Cikgu Pang
Ya?
kita mula sekejap lagi
Okay, no problem.
Alright. Ada soalan sekolah menengah atau sekolah rendah? Mula-mula dia sudah tanya. Okey, kita mulakan Cikgu Pang boleh kita mulakan?
Okay, boleh.
Alright, okey. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Salam Malaysia Madani. Salam Hakiki Mujajaya, rakyat bahagia mengambil dunia. Bijak laksana tuah, berani laksana jebat. Salam pendidikan berkualiti, didik negara sejahtera. #JPL Melaka Bitara. Yang saya hormati Encik Nasaruddin bin Najib Rahmat, Ketua Pengarah Sektor Sumber Teknik Pendidikan Jawatan Pendidikan Negeri Melaka. Puan Pang Ijia daripada Kolej Sekatan 6 Tun Fatimah Melaka selaku penyaras bagi pertandingan Data Science Explorer tahun 2024 peringkat kebangsaan. Wakil daripada Asean Foundation, warga pendidik, murid-murid sekolah serta semua penonton yang berada di dalam talian sekalian. Okey, secara langsung menerusi channel YouTube Gema Digital TV Melaka. Okay, selamat datang saya ucapkan kepada semua dan terima kasih di atas sokongan yang diberikan. Okey, baiklah tuan-tuan. Pada petang ini kita akan mendengar sedikit taklimat daripada penyaras berkenaan dengan program ini dan akan disusuli oleh penerangan kriteria tentang penjurian oleh Liu Kong Yu selaku hakim bagi pertandingan ini. Tetapi sebelum tu saya akan mempersilakanlah Encik Nasaruddin bin Haji Rahman KPP SSTP untuk memberikan sedikit ucapan pembukaan. Okey, dipersilakan.
Okey, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia Madani, salam pendidikan berkualiti dan terdidik negara sejahtera. Terima kasih kepada Encik Faizal. Terima kasih juga kepada Cikgu Pang dan juga wakil Asean Foundation. Jadi saya dapati sejumlah peserta-peserta dari utara, daripada Perlis, Kedah, Pulau Pinang, Perak, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Johor, Pahang, Terengganu, Kelantan, Sarawak dan Sabah. Okay, jadi welcome, selamat datang ke taklimat pada petang ini. Jadi pertamanya saya mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Cikgu Pang dan juga Asean Foundation di atas betapa usaha sama dan juga semangat yang ditunjukkan dalam meneruskan ASEAN Data Science Explorers 2024, yang mana untuk pada petang ini dimaklumkan akan ada satu taklimat khusus untuk penjurian. Jadi kepada murid-murid dan juga guru-guru yang dikasihi sekalian, kalau kita melihat kepada Data Science Explorer ni, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, anak-anak murid yang pelajar-pelajar yang dikasihi, sebenarnya bila disebutkan data science ni, when we talk about data, means that there are numbers of prospect yang akan berlaku pada masa hadapan murid-murid kita. Jadi kita sedia maklum bahawa by 2025 and above, we can see latest career jobs, dia punya spesifikasi pekerjaan akan datang akan bersandarkan kepada data. Sebagai contoh, kita tengok ada yang terbaru ni, saya tengok ada data broker. Data broker pun ada. Data broker, data analytics, kemudian yang berkaitan dengan data lagi adalah something to do with customer experience. So this kind of experience also can be a part of data that become one of the our new prospect for next jobs lah, right? Jadi untuk itu gunakanlah peluang ini murid-murid sekalian serta guru-guru untuk kita explore apa yang ada di dalam Data Science Explorer ni. Macam kita lihat pada juri kita dah tentu akan bersandarkan kepada 6 trust daripada 17 trust SDG, Sustainable Goal. Okey, baik, macam contoh kita tengok zero hunger. Okey, bila zero hunger ni, as you know, we have this kind of problem with our food security, right? So bila food security, how you overcome the problem. Kemudian kita tengok good health and well-being, clean water. Clean water ni pun is a part of, sebab kita pun melihat banyak macam kita tengok di Singapore, ada recycle balik air minuman kita, air yang disimpan, sustainable cities, okay, responsible consumption and production, and then climate action. This one considered six themes yang popular lah, 6 tema yang popular. Jadi saya rasa tema-tema ni kalau zaman masa kami bersekolah dulu, kalau dah ada benda ni kan, saya rasa kita ni dah pergi satu next level Cikgu Pang, Cik Faizal dan cikgu-cikgu sekalian. Sebab apa? Ia melibatkan kita panggil satu kemahiran yang nombor satu analitik. Yang kedua dia critical thinking. Kemudian kita kena kreatif. And then kita kena ada lagi satu yang dipanggil selain daripada strategic thinking, digital mindset. Kemudian kita ada lagi satu kita panggil yang terkini adalah future scenario prediction. Kita panggil dia future scenario prediction. Yang ni mungkin agak baru pada guru-guru, tetapi sebenarnya future scenario prediction ni ataupun future scenario analysis ni adalah perancangan strategik untuk 5 tahun dan ke atas, maksudnya 5, 10, 15, 20. So maksudnya dia dah melihat kepada satu perancangan strategik yang lebih jauh. Kalau perancangan strategik PSO kita ni biasanya kita lihat dalam tempoh 5 tahun. Tapi yang ini dia lebih daripada 5, dia panggil sebagai future scenario analysis. Jadi ini adalah pengalaman lah bagi murid-murid kita. So buat yang terbaik, insyaAllah anda juga menyumbang sesuatu kepada negara. Jadi itu saja daripada saya. All the best to all teachers and students overall nationwide. So thank you Cikgu Pang, thank you Cikgu Faizal, and then thank you to our partner Asean Foundation too. Alright, that's all. Bye bye.
Okey, terima kasih Encik Nazarudin di atas ucapan pembukaan sebentar tadi. Okay, baik, tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, saya mempersilakan Puan Pang daripada Kolej Kesihatan 6 Tun Fatimah Melaka selaku penyaras bagi program ataupun pertandingan Asean Data Science Explorer tahun ni 2024 untuk memberikan sedikit penerangan dan perincian lah berkenaan dengan program dan pertandingan ni. Disilakan Puan Pang.
Okey, terima kasih kepada Encik Nasaruddin dan Encik Faizal. Okey, saya Cikgu Pang dari Kolej Tingkatan 6 Tun Fatimah Melaka. Okey, pada hari ini saya akan buat taklimat tentang Asean Data Science Explorer 2024. Okey, let me share my screen. Kejap. Boleh nampak tak? Nampak.
Yes, Puan Pang, please.
Can you see my PowerPoint?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Kejap lagi. I think.
We are seeing your Google.
Okay, I stop first. Okay, can you see my screen now? Okay.
That's better. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let me explain this program in dua bahasa.
Puan Pang off mic, tak dengar.
Okay, macam ni. Hello. Macam ni dengar tak?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Clear.
Okay, so boleh ya. Okay, so this program is organized by Ministry of Education Malaysia, ASEAN Foundation, and in collaboration with SFP and Kolej Tingkatan 6 Tun Fatimah. Okay, so this is the 8 years organized by ASEAN Foundation, and for Malaysia, we are the second year to collaborate for the secondary school. Okay, so this program aiming to promote ASEAN awareness and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, as stated by Encik Nasaruddin, so there are total 6 SDG that we focus for this year. So for every year, there are different SDG. So to complete the storyboard, the students need to find the problem and the solution to solve the 6 SDG, either 1 or total 6. So the student can choose either 1, 2 or until 6 SDG. And this program is aiming to equip youth across ASEAN with data analytics skill and 21st century skill. So there are two segments of ASEAN DSE, okay, which are the enablement session and data analytic competition. Okay, so sini saya nak terangkan. So ada dua perkara yang penting iaitu bengkel dan juga pertandingan. So untuk enablement session iaitu bengkel, okay, adalah percuma dan terbuka kepada semua pelajar. Okay, tingkatan 3 iaitu umur 15 tahun okay, sehingga 30 tahun. Okay, ini adalah definisi youth oleh ASEAN Foundation. Okay, so pelajar tingkatan 3 hingga tingkatan 6 okay, dari sekolah KPM okay, atau sekolah private atau mana-mana sekolah atau universiti actually semua dijemput untuk menghadiri bengkel ASEAN Data Science Explorer. Okay, so after the enablement session, the student can join the competition okay, using the skills being taught during the workshop. Okay, so this is the enablement session, okay, which we call it bengkel. Okay, so during the bengkel, during the enablement session, we will teach the SAP Analytic Cloud, which is SAC, and also SAP Build Apps. So we have two missions here. Okay, one is to teach the student to use the analytic cloud, okay, to do the data analytic. After that, they need to build the mobile apps, okay, to solve the problem that they propose. So to introduce SAC and SAP Build. Okay, the browser use Google Chrome. So before the student join the enablement session, they need to install the Google Chrome so that the SAC and SAP Build okay, can be launched effectively. We will share the account for the student who participate in the enablement session. Okay, so untuk penjelasan, akaun ini adalah secara percuma sehingga 31 Disember. Okay, kerana SAP account actually dia perlu berbayar. Tetapi semua pelajar yang masuk bengkel akan dapat akaun secara percuma. Okay, so dapat akses selain daripada SSC juga boleh dapat SAP Build. Adalah dua akaun yang berlainan. Okay, so for all the account, the student need to register themselves for the enablement session. Okay, what is the ASEAN Data Science Explorer competition? Okay, this is the regional data analytic competition organized by ASEAN Foundation and SAP. So the student who become winner in Malaysia can represent Malaysia to the regional final okay, in Laos. Okay, this year Laos is the host for the regional final. So who are eligible participants? This competition open for the student aged 15 to 30 years old, okay, full-time education student. Okay, for those who already start working or part-time students, okay, they are not eligible to attend the competition. Okay, there are two levels. One is the national level, okay. So the winner, the champion of the national level will represent the country to the regional level, okay, which is ASEAN level. So the participant need to produce a data-driven storyboard. Okay, they propose some ideas, the solution, and present it in the PDF file, then submit to us. Okay, so the top 10 will be invited to the national final. Okay, so maybe the teacher will ask, the range of the age is 15 years old to 30 years old. How can the 15 years old student compete with the 30 years old student? Okay, that's why today we are here, okay, to introduce you. There are two categories. So for the secondary school students, they can participate in the secondary school which the participant age 15 to 18 years old. Okay, while the university students, they will join another category. So the secondary school student, they have chance to become the winner. Okay, however, to represent Malaysia, okay, the student need to join the university category. Okay, so for example, if the student is 15 years old, okay, so they become the winner for the secondary school, but actually they cannot represent Malaysia unless their storyboard, okay, can become the winner in the university level, which are the open category. Okay, so later I will explain more about the eligibility for the competition until the ASEAN level. Okay, so according to the SDG, there are total 6 SDG here, 2, 3, 6, 11, 12, and 13. So all the problem proposed, okay, must be related to audit. Okay, so this is the ASEAN DSE timeline. Okay, now we are at the call for application and enablement session. Okay, sekarang kita buka untuk pendaftaran untuk bengkel. Okay, iaitu dari Mac hingga Jun, dan enablement session akan okay, pada 31 Mei. Okay, so call for application maksudnya daftar untuk pertandingan. Okay, nanti saya akan kongsikan website yang perlu cikgu masuk untuk daftar pertandingan. Okay, so di sini ada dua, iaitu bengkel dengan pertandingan. Okay, perlu daftar secara berasingan. Okay, storyboard submission, okay, from 15 April until 14 June. Okay, so due date to submit your storyboard, okay, is on 14 June. Okay, and the storyboard shortlisting, okay, until July, 5th July. So we will announce the winner by 12 July. So we will call the top 10 winners for the national final, okay, which is on 14 August for Malaysia. Okay, 14 August for university student, 15 August for secondary school student. Okay, while September, okay, August to September are for other countries. While regional final, which is held in Laos, will be held on 20 to 24 October. Okay, so this is the QR code for the student to participate, to join the workshop. Okay, so the teacher or student can click on this Google site. Okay, in this Google site, okay, we stated the goals, the background of the competition, the objective. Okay, so to access the registration form, okay, teacher can click on this online workshop. Okay, to choose the session which the students are free to participate. Okay, so if we look from here, okay, the online session start on 31st March. Okay, and the time stated here. Okay, from 31st March. So these are the session for April. Okay, May. Okay, so we allocate the session on Saturday and Sunday. So total 5 hours from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, so what the students will learn during the 5 hours. Okay, first, this is an introduction to ASEAN Foundation and ASEAN Data Science Explorer. Okay, and the student will learn the analytic cloud. Okay, they need to create their first model, their story. Okay, drilling down to ASEAN data, styling your story, and using smart discovery. Okay, for the second part, the students will learn about the SAP build apps. Okay, which is the mobile apps. Presenting SAP build apps at glance, creating application using SAP build apps. Okay, taking tour and create the first application. Okay, and finally fill the survey form. So all the participants who successfully complete the task for SSC and SAP, okay, they will be awarded the certificate of participation from ASEAN. Okay, so after this workshop, the students need to find some problem to solve using the data analytic and join the competition. Then they will get another 2 certificates. Okay, one certificate is from KPM, another certificate is from ASEAN. Okay, so I hope the teacher can encourage the students to join the workshop and the competition. Okay, so this is the link to join the competition. Okay, it is still not open yet. So when 15 April, we will open the submission for the report. Okay, in this website, okay, the teacher can check the enablement session. Okay, what is about the enablement session? Okay, the competition. Okay, later I will invite Dr. Liao to explain about the competition. Okay, so I just browse through about the competition, the judging criteria. Okay, Dr. Liao is our judge for last year and this year. So I hope later students and teacher can pay attention. okay, what the judges want, okay, what the storyboard that is good enough as the winning storyboard. Okay, and these are our speakers. Okay, are from the mentors of College Tingkatan 6 and teacher, okay, also other colleges. Okay, for last year, 2023, okay, these schools represent their state to the top 10 finalists. Okay, so I hope this year we can get more participation, okay, and we'll meet you in Cyberjaya this year, okay, for the national final. Okay, so now I would like to invite Dr. Liao to brief about the competition.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Hello. So let me share my screen. Let's see. Sorry, one moment.
Teachers, if you have any question, we will answer later, okay, after Dr. Liao present his slides.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, Doctor.
Can I? Okay. All right. So good afternoon to everyone, to our guests from Ministry of Education, to all organizers, Pang, for inviting me back to be another year of judge for this competition, and also good afternoon to all the teachers and students here. So I'm going to speak in English mainly because all the criteria are all in English. But if you have any questions, feel free to put into the chat, and I believe Pang and the organizing committee, they will assist you with the questions. So a bit of myself, as Pang mentioned, and I also mentioned, I was a judge last year. I'm a data scientist, practicing data science and the skills for about 2 years now in industry. Back then, when I was astrophysicist, I also used data science in my study. So overall, I have several years of playing with data, making sense of data and how it should be, look like. So it's my honor to share with you some of our findings, some of our reflections from last year's competition. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so very roughly, there will be three criteria to look into. So the first one is on data and visualization. So how do you present your data, in a nice way? The other criterion is on analysis and insights. So in a very rough sense, how your storyboard can give a sense of insights to the reader. And the third one is, of course, very important. It's on recommendation, because when you're talking about a problem, when you're talking about solving a problem, you also have to think about how you would recommend a potential solution to solve the problem, right? So yeah, so these are the three main criteria for this storyboard competition, and it's allocated by 30% for the first one, 40 for the second one, and lastly, and the rest for the last one. You can see the judging criteria here in this link. I believe this PowerPoint slideshow will be shared to everyone after this briefing. I'm going to quickly deep dive into these three criteria, and I'm going to go through each of the points. Some I'm going to spend more time, some just briefly go through. So the first one here, I don't know if you can see my mouse. You can. Okay. So the first one is, as it says here, clear, assured delivery with suitable use of visual aid. So sometimes when you want to tell a story, or when you want to bring out a point, make sure that whatever visual aid could be pictures, could be pictures and graphs, right? Make sure that they are relevant and they are clear. And the second point, which I'm going to go through, is using using a suitable chart to tell your narrative. So I give you an example here. This is actually this is a topic from last year, but I'm just like making up some of the values here. So if you're talking about the number of people with unsanitized source of water, with where the source of water is dirty. So if you're talking about this, and then we talk about 3 countries over 4 years, 2016, 2018, 2022, and then we can compare the number of people with unsanitized source of water for these 3 countries. You can see that for the first country, it's it's going down and then slightly up and then going down again. And then for country B, you can see that it's more or less constantly going down. And for country C, it's it's quite constant. So from this graph, if you want to talk about how certain policy in country B is helping with the sanitizing of water, then you can see that this is the evidence that country B is actually doing a good job, right? So in this, if this is your story, then this graph is adequate. It makes sense to show this graph. Looking down here, if let's say instead of using bar charts, you're using pie charts, and then you're just comparing the percentage, right? Then this may not gives you the story that you want to bring out. For example, you want to say that country B is doing a good job solving its sanitizing of their water. You can see that if you are using pie charts, then it's a bit hard to visualize that it's actually doing well, right? And so on and so on. You may even think that country C is actually doing quite good because for actually I'm wrong. You can't really see anything from here. So yeah, so this series of pie charts may not be adequate. They are not suitable for your story. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Third point, all of the data in the dashboard are accurate and not manipulated. So you make sure that the data, the values, the numbers that you use in your plots are accurate, and you don't want to change number according to to what you want, right? You make sure that you report as what it is. Fourth point, credible references. So make sure that at the end of your at the end of your storyboard, make sure that you have a list of references for your data set, those that you use. Fifth point, try to use the data sets that are released after year 2000. That's because we want to make sure that the data set that we use is always it's recent. It reflects some of the recent initiatives that the countries do. Very last point here, the data source presented for each image or chart is preferable. So this is what I would say. So last year, reflecting what I did last year, right? When I go through the charts, I can see some of the charts are very nice. Some are okay, but I'm always interested to see where you get this source from. So it's always good to try to have your source just under your chart. Any questions so far, or should we leave the question to the end? Pompang.
Yeah, you may proceed. Then later we ask if any question.
Okay. So I'm going to proceed to the next criteria. So this criteria is on analysis and insights. The first one is very important. So your problem statement must be clear. I don't have an example here, but I can remember something from last year. So make sure that make sure you are clear with your problem, and then when you talk about your problem throughout your whole story, you always refer back to the problem that you are trying to solve, right? Don't try to have multiple problems to solve. You don't have that much capacity, right? You have only a limited number of slides, so you only try to focus on one problem statement and make sure that that is very clear. The second one is the capability to tell a compelling and engaging story that is logical and critical. So basically, just make sure that your statements, your logical flow make sure that they are consistent, right? I can give you one example here, a bad example in per se. This is also from an example from last year, as far as I can remember. So this is an example here. The percentage of food production is becoming lower over the years. Okay, then you show plots of the production is getting lower and lower. Then in the next statement, you say that we also witnessed the increase in number of deaths in the same period of years. So let's say you're thinking about from 2010 to 2020, right? You see that the food production is going low, the percentage is going lower over the years. You also see that the number of deaths increases. Therefore, you say that the shortage of food has caused an increase in death toll, which at first sight it may sound logical, but it's actually quite there are some flaws, right? So I can point to two flaws over here, which is something that people made a lot last year. The first one is correlation does not imply causation. It sounds a bit deep, but it's actually very, very, very simple. When you see two things, they are related, that doesn't mean that one thing causes the other thing. So for example, right now, right, I'm saying that food production is going lower, and then I say there's increase in number of deaths. Therefore, does it mean that lower food production causes increase in number of deaths? So this may or may not be true. This is up to you to find out. But the point is, don't make that conclusion straight away. You have to make your logical stance quite well. And the second point is is on the different comparison metrics. So right now you're talking about percentage of food production becoming lower. And the second point, you're talking about the increase in number of deaths, right? So the comparison is not very truthful because one is about percentage, one is about absolute number. Maybe the increase in number of deaths is because there are simply more people in this country, right? So it could be that, or maybe the percentage of food production is lower simply because there's simply because there's a shift in industry for this particular country from food production to some other thing, right? So it's not very truthful if you're comparing two many types of metric. So I have to always make sure on that. Okay. Third point, use of clear, focus, and quality visual analysis. Compelling charts and graphs to depict the dataset and give viewers meaningful insights. The main point here is meaningful insights. Okay, so don't show many plots that may be relevant, but they don't really give any more new insights for the reader. Make sure that you choose the right graphs to show, right thing to tell. Fourth point, graphs and storyboard are well structured and organized. So I can remember some of the storyboards I read last year. I have to keep reading, from page 10 and then go back to page 1 and then go to page 11, then go to page 2. So it's not very organized. I know that the content is there, but it's as a reading process goes, it's not very smooth. So make sure that you have to make sure it's structured and organized. Fifth point, make sure that you are targeting specific UN goals. So as what mentioned just now, right? We have a few goals to choose from out of these 17 goals. So as highlighted, right now for this particular year, we are focusing on 7 goals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry, 6 goals. So 2, 3, zero hunger, good health and well-being. 6, clean water and sanitization. 11, sustainable cities and communities, and responsible consumption and production, and also climate action. I believe I didn't miss anything else. So these are the 6, right? Pampang, just to confirm.
Yeah, for this year, only 6 SDG are focused.
Okay, thank you very much. Yep, and it's also quite good because these 6 are they are quite close to us, right? So it's not too hard to look into and to research on. On the last point, you also have to talk about, as part of this criteria, you also have to talk about how you are targeting or how you are solving certain measures or targets by ASEAN. So these are the two blueprints that you can refer to. As mentioned, I have these links over here, so you can always go to there and then just have a look and have a read. On the last criteria, which is on recommendation. So the first one, you can have multiple recommendation, but make sure that your recommendations are proposed on the basis of data analysis. You are in a data science, data analysis competition, so we do expect certain recommendations are backed up by your analysis of your data. Make sure that whatever you say can be there are evidence in the data that says yeah, this is actually a good recommendations. Second point, recommendations are creative, feasible, specific, sustainable, original, impactful. There are many points here I can, but I think if you're impactful, then you're basically covering quite a few things here. Make sure that your recommendations are, it's actually bringing impact, right? I mean, it's not wrong to say, for example, I mean, for us, we always say having campaign this, campaign there, right? It's not wrong, but we do seek to see, we do try to see if you can give out certain impactful recommendations, besides some of the the common ones, if I may say. The third point here, scalable across more than one ASEAN member state. So I remember from last year, some of the recommendations maybe on let's say on water sanitization, right? Then you may say, oh, we can convert the seawater into clean water to drink, and then it's already feasible in Singapore and whatnot. But you have to really go deep down and think whether this is actually true for more than one member state. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, right? Because Singapore has a lot of edge in terms of technology compared to a lot of other member states in ASEAN. And also for some of the countries, right, they are even landlocked. They don't even have sea. So how do you address those things, right? So you really have to think about whether your recommendations or technology can bring forth to other member states. At least more than one. Fourth point here. So fourth point here, innovative solutions are attainable with current technology and resource. Yep, as I mentioned. So you try not to give ideas or recommendations that is quite far beyond from what we can achieve, like within a short term of years, right? I cannot think of any example right now, but yeah, try to keep it, try to think if you can actually do that in this short time of years. Number 5, the fifth point here, there's a clear demonstration of the implementation of your recommendation. So make sure that you show step by step. Right? I believe I have a yep. So this is just a elaboration. So you show the steps of your recommendation and and borrow and show the borrowed evidence that says that your recommendation may work. Okay, one example here. Maybe you recommend that maybe ASEAN state members should share technology to solve, I don't know, food shortage problem. So don't just say this, right? Because this is very vague, this is very high level. So try to also show to us what you mean and how to achieve that. Maybe first you want to share the steps, talk about the steps to reach from simply technology sharing to actually solving the problem itself. Try to show as many steps as possible. If it exists, on the second point, if it exists, sometimes it doesn't exist, but if it exists, show evidence that it works in other organizations or in other countries, right? For example, European Union, African Union, right? Because in this world, we are not just ASEAN, we are also a lot of other countries or organizations out there. On the next point, there's a clear information on relevant stakeholders involved. So also have to talk about who are the stakeholders. For example, in this particular case, right, technology sharing, that the stakeholders are, maybe agriculture universities from each of these countries, the Ministry of Agriculture for these countries, etc., etc. So you must know who are the stakeholders, who are the funders for your recommendations. And the very last point, there's an element of recommendation. Sorry, there's an element of how the recommendation would be sustainable in terms of sustainable in terms of a lot of ways, in terms of environment, in terms of governments, etc., etc. Or how you can support the community, right? I mean, for one example is for example, you have energy shortage or energy crisis. You can always build a lot of coal power plant or nuclear power plant, but make sure that you have studied how it's going to be sustainable to the environment, to the society, to the community of that region. Okay. In this very last slide, I'm just going to share with you some of the common improvement points if I haven't mentioned them just now. The first one that I see a lot is unclear axis or units, because they can be very confusing. Sorry. Okay, can you still hear me? Yep. So the first improvement points I think everyone can practice is to cut or to make sure you don't show unclear axis or units. Those things can exist in terms of percentage or simply per capita, because we always talk about something per capita or something, production per capita or energy consumption per capita. So you want to make sure that your units are correct. You know what it is, right? And also comparing maximum and minimum. So make sure that you don't get that wrong. Second point, that also I see a lot last year was using application as a solution. For example here, right? Your recommendation could be, I want to use an app to check deforestation in Malaysia. But if you think about it, right, it doesn't really solve deforestation. You're just checking, right? You don't really solve it. So how do you actually use this app to solve the problem, right? So you may want to say, okay, app is just a method. I'm using this app. I'm using the results, the analytics from this app to identify potential, illegal deforestation spots in Malaysia. Then that's solving the problem, because you can also go in and say that, then the government can find these people and so on, right? So again, application or app is not really a solution most of the time. It's a method to help you to achieve your recommendation. Number 3, and I mentioned just now, I think oversharing plots and charts can sometimes disrupt the flow of your story. I know it's very tempting to show everything that you have researched, but sometimes it's less is more in a sense. So try to only choose those that are clear, relevant, and don't repeat them anywhere else. Point 4, ensure your story and statement does not contradict with the results you show. Not often, but some. I remember some of the presentation last year. Actually, this is one example from last year. I remember. The participants, they may say that country A has low recycling rate, and then therefore they go on and say how they should increase the recycling rate, blah blah blah. But then when we ask them to go back to maybe page 1 or 2 of their slides, we actually sit down and read the table, the plot. It actually shows that this country is actually doing quite well. So you're actually contradicting the point that you're trying to make. Make sure that it your story does not contradict. Number 5, simply just make sure that your story is engaging. Make sure that it's actually interesting to the reader, right? I mean, we have many stories to read. We have many storyboards to read. What makes yours stand out is the question that you want to ask yourself. And a my opinion and an idea for you is to try to refer to past ASEAN DSE like winning storyboards. So Pampang just now has shown a website that you guys can go through to see the winning high school category slides. But you can also go to this link and see those winning storyboards of each of the countries in the past, I believe until 2017. So yeah, so have a read and then have a study of how they win. I think that's it. Yes. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening to my sharing, and I wish everyone all the best, of course. So I'm ready to take any questions if you have.
Okey, terima kasih kepada Dr. Liu atas penerangan yang diberikan. Okey, kita open beberapa minit untuk soalan-soalan. Jadi kebanyakannya kita nampak telah dijawab oleh Puan Pang pada ruangan komen, dan ada juga soalan daripada YouTube yang kita telah masukkan juga dalam ni. Jika ada persoalan lain, Cikgu Liwatun, Sadia. Okey,
Saya terus jawab lah kalau macam tu, siapa yang tanya saya terus jawab. Okay, di sini tanyakan, with the data given we only chosen the data for the 5 hours course or no. The 5 hour course we only use the data as a practice, okay, as an example. Teacher need to find data from the other resources. Okay, just now I have posted the website, okay, aseandse.org. Okay, so dalam website itu ada banyak data, sampel data. Okay, so pelajar perlu cari data yang sesuai dengan tajuk dia. Sebab dalam bengkel kita guna data COVID-19. So untuk pertandingan, pelajar perlu cari data yang lain. Okay, 14 years old student join the workshop. Okay, boleh, actually pelajar yang masuk kita akan beri sertifikat. Hanya pertandingan saja sebab ini ASEAN punya age lah, dia tetapkan 15 tahun. So dia tak dapat wakil, itu saja. 15 tahun limit dia lah, tak boleh wakil. Okay, tajuk boleh pilih. Tajuk memang bebas tetapi perlu berdasarkan 6 SDG yang telah ditetapkan. Okay, kalau let's say tak jadi top 10 still dapat memang ada sertifikat untuk penyertaan. Dan saya perlu emphasize di sini. Okay, so sekarang kalau masuk workshop, habiskan tugasan, dapat CJ untuk workshop. Okay, lepas tu masuk pertandingan, boleh dapat 2 CJ. Satu CJ dari KPM, satu CJ dari ASEAN, tetapi storyboard itu perlu hantar ke dua-dua tempat, baru boleh dapat 2 CJ. Okay, tadi saya ada hantar website yang aseandse.org. Okay, perlu register di website sana untuk bahagian ASEAN. Okay, dan untuk bahagian KPM perlu register supaya kita ada dua macam resources lah untuk kita capai storyboard. Storyboard yang dihantar kepada ASEAN kita tidak akan capai. So kita hanya ambil storyboard dari KPM. Okay, so pelajar akan dapat 2 CJ dari sumber berlainan. Nanti pihak kami KPM dengan ASEAN Foundation akan bincang, okay, siapa yang jadi winner untuk diselect ke top 10. Okay, maksudnya kalau nak 2 pertandingan mesti hantar kepada 2 tempat, okay, secara ringkasnya. Okay, kalau hanya hantar KPM maka tak dapat di ASEAN sana. Okay, macam mana register? Semua ada di website yang Google Site. Tadi sudah share Google Site. Okay, kami boleh share lagi. Tetapi borang penghantaran belum buka lagi sebab belum start terima penyertaan. Okay, untuk Google Site adalah untuk KPM. Untuk asean.org itulah bahagian ASEAN, mereka akan bagi sertifikat berdasarkan data yang mereka collect. Okay, 9 AM kedua pelajar berada di sekolah. This why untuk online kita buat Sabtu dan Ahad. Kalau untuk negeri yang ada sekolah pada hari Ahad, cikgu boleh luangkan masa untuk pelajar mengikuti bengkel ini sewaktu sekolah. Okay, kalau boleh di bengkel mama komputer, satu kelas attend sekali. Tetapi perlu register. Kalau satu kelas 30 orang nak masuk sesi sekali pun perlu register secara individu sebab kita nak bagi account. Hanya ada account tu baru boleh akses kepada sistem tersebut. Okay, software dan analytic cloud tersebut untuk buat analitik. Okay, so they choose the top 10, the finalists akan buat apa? Okay, so siapa yang terpilih akan diberi peluang untuk memperbaiki storyboard dia. Nanti mereka akan di Kuala Lumpur untuk presentation secara live dan juri akan tanya soalan pada masa tersebut. Presentation, live presentation secara fizikal. Top 10 perlu hadir secara fizikal. Okay, when this meet end, I think kita akan habis pada pukul 3:30. Okay, Encik Faizal. Okay, is there any telegram? Okay. So we have the Telegram group after you join the workshop. You register for the workshop, then we will create the Telegram for each online workshop. So master trainer untuk setiap workshop itu akan bertanggungjawab untuk jaga semua peserta itu sehingga mereka habis pertandingan. So don't worry. Okay, walaupun workshop tak dapat habis tugasan, jangan takut. Ada masa lagi selepas workshop boleh tanya soalan sehingga capai. So ada trainer di sana. Okay, teacher sudah sampai soalan ke mana? After the choose top 10, okay, when the teacher can also have joined the 5 hours. Okay, actually tak perlu ada cikgu. Kalau pelajar sendiri boleh berada di rumah untuk ikuti bengkel, okay, cikgu tidak perlu berada dalam bengkel tersebut. Okay, kecuali cikgu nak sendiri belajar, dapatkan sijil, so cikgu perlu register. Okay, data need to get from journal student conduct it. Tak perlu collect data. Ambil data dari website, dari online. Di Asean, di se.org, sana ada banyak data yang berkaitan dengan negara ASEAN. Okay, cikgu cuba explore website tersebut. Okay, tadi Dr. Lia pun ada kongsikan storyboard, contoh storyboard, winning storyboard. Bagaimana mereka boleh jadi champion di negara mereka sehingga wakil ke negara ke regional final. Okay, boleh rujuk. Okay, for ASEAN level, guru perlu daftar murid sendiri. Okay, pelajar boleh sendiri daftar tetapi mereka perlukan maklumat guru. Contohnya nombor telefon guru. Okay, so actually boleh bagi pelajar sendiri cuba daftar. Okay, tetapi dia perlukan maklumat guru juga.
Cikgu Pang, saya respon sikit tambahan.
Ya.
Untuk cikgu-cikgu dan semua murid seluruh negara, okey, pertandingan data site explorer ni, dia punya site dia boleh diakses melalui portal Delima juga. Dalam tu kita dah pub masuk, BSTP dah masukkan dia punya link tu dalam portal Delima. Jadi boleh akses melalui itulah. Kalau kata ada menghadapi sebarang persekaran ataupun lupa link tu kat mana, jadi boleh akses melalui Delima. Sebab kita ada kooperasi dengan beberapa agensi yang ni lah, yang termasuk KPM dan Asean, jabatan dan sekolah. Jadi banyak yang gitu. Jadi salah satunya kita gunakan BSTP untuk bantu mereka untuk kita parkkan lah data site explorer tu dalam Delima. Okey.
Okay, so untuk soalan yang seterusnya, presentation in BM. Tidak boleh sebab ini peringkat ASEAN, so semua storyboard perlu dalam bahasa Inggeris. Okay, change the date or the time for the Google Meet. Maksudnya tukar tarikh dan masa bengkel kah? Okay, cikgu nanti boleh PM saya kalau ada sekolah yang ingin buat spesifik punya bengkel untuk sekolah you, tapi 100 orang nanti kita boleh arrange lah. Kalau cikgu ada 100 orang pelajar nak masuk bengkel, cikgu kontak saya spesifik buat sesi kepada sekolah you secara online. Sebab actually selain daripada online, kita pun ada buat on-site, tetapi sekolah yang terpilih saja kita buat on-site. Okay, so sign in for the workshop. Okay, semua dalam website Google site ada borang. Going to use the certain apps or software. Yeah, so pelajar perlu gunakan software yang kita ajar iaitu SAP, okay, SAP Build, juga SSC Cloud Analytics. Okay, Mr. Lee Sun Chin. Okay, soalan, jika anak di sekolah A boleh tak daftar atas nama A? Ya, actually ini daftar untuk bengkel atau untuk pertandingan? Yang soalan Mr. Lee. Untuk bengkel actually tak banyak restriction. Tetapi untuk pertandingan, okay, perlu berasal dari sekolah yang sama. Okay, untuk bengkel actually dia hanya individual. Dia boleh sendiri masuk bengkel, lepas tu dia ajar kawan dia untuk masuk pertandingan. Walaupun kawan dia tak masuk bengkel, kawan dia tak dapat sijil bengkel. Tetapi kawan dia masuk pertandingan sama kumpulan, okay, dia akan dapat sijil pertandingan. Okay, sebab ini adalah dua perkara yang berlainan. Okay, untuk bengkel no problem. Sijil PHSK. Okay, setakat ini kita memang recognize as kebangsaan, tetapi setiap kali selepas program kita akan buat laporan untuk mohon peringkat antarabangsa, sebab ini memang program yang dijalankan secara serentak di 10 negara ASEAN. Tetapi masih tunggu respon daripada BSKK, kita perlu dapatkan pengiktirafan daripada mereka selepas laporan dihantar. Okay, so tak ada limit partisipan. Actually kita tak ada had untuk peserta dan juga tiada had untuk hantar pertandingan. Okay, ya. Yeah. Okay, cikgu kalau ada hal penting cikgu boleh leave. Okay, storyboard untuk pertandingan juga central PDF. Ya, untuk preliminary round, pusingan awal hanya hantar PDF file. Okay, tidak perlu presentation. Okay, saya sudah buka website. Okay, so saya perlu actually dalam website di ASEAN DSE tu, okay, cikgu perlu sendiri explore mana dataset dia. Saya kena cari juga. Okay, cikgu boleh tak sendiri explore, nanti kalau tak dapat baru kita macam mana nak. Saya nanti masukkan dalam Google Site lah cikgu. Okay, kalau tak dapat cari mana dataset, nanti saya masukkan dalam Google Site. Okay, saya akan highlight. Okay, contoh dataset boleh capai melalui website ini. Actually bukan sahaja website ASEAN DSE. Mana-mana World Bank ke, mana saja cikgu boleh dapat data, okay, dibenarkan. Hanya dalam storyboard, cikgu perlu label dari mana data tersebut diambil. Okay, pertandingan atas talian. Ya, betul. Kecuali top 10. Top 10 kita akan jemput ke pertandingan akhir secara fizikal. Ya, top 10 sahaja perlu buat presentation secara fizikal. Nanti kami akan jemput, okay, untuk hadiah secara fizikal. Okay, data from any source. Ya, true. Data tiada limit, tiada dari mana-mana.
Okay. Can I just quickly on to the source of data? So untuk Malaysia kan, we have a website called OpenDOSM. I don't know if you are aware of that. So OpenDOSM will contain a lot of data regarding Malaysians' context. If you want to compare, recommend, using Malaysia as an example, you can also use that. OpenDOSM. Maybe I can find the website for you.
Saya sudah dapat cari data set, okay, dari ASEAN website. Saya post di sini. Okay, sinilah data set dia. Okay, group work ada individual. Okay, dua pelajar satu kumpulan untuk pertandingan. Tetapi untuk workshop adalah secara individu. Setiap pelajar perlu habiskan tugasan yang diberi semasa bengkel. Okey, pendaftaran akan mula. Okey, pendaftaran sudah bermula. Cikgu sudah boleh register untuk masuk bengkel sebab bengkel pertama kita ada pada 31 Mac. Okey, pada Ahad ni. Okay, any tips to be in the top 10? Ya, tadi Dr. Liao sudah kongsikan pengalaman dia sebagai hakim, apakah yang perlu buat, apa yang tidak boleh buat. Okay, cikgu sila rujuk balik recording ini, okay, dan ikut kriteria penjurian. Okay, umur berapa boleh sertai pertandingan? Okay, 15 tahun hingga 18 hingga form 6, form 3 to form 6 for KPM school. Okay, for Malaysia. Can you elaborate on the PDF file that needs to be sent? Oh, no presentation before top 10. So how the project needs to be? Okay. Tadi Dr. Liao pun ada kongsikan website yang tunjukkan contoh winning storyboard. Okay, saya kongsikan sekali lagi. Okay, tetapi cikgu sila baca. Hanya hadkan kepada 15 muka surat sahaja for the preliminary round. Okay, pusingan awal tidak boleh lebih 15 muka surat. Kecuali tim yang terpilih ke top 10 akan dipanggil untuk murnikan storyboard dia. Masa tu baru boleh lebih daripada 15 muka surat. Kalau tidak, hakim tidak akan baca selepas 15 muka surat untuk pusingan awal. Okay, participant, yes. For each of the workshop, kita boleh, each of the workshop kita hanya hadkan 100 peserta. Okay, sebab bengkel online, kita nak jaga semua pelajar. So, kita hadkan 100 orang. So, cikgu sila minta pelajar daftar awal. Kalau sudah penuh, kita akan tutup sesi tersebut. Okay, Dr. Liao boleh sharekan slide. Okay, maybe Dr. Liao, you can upload your slide on the web, then you can share the link here immediately so that the teacher can access. Because after that, we don't know how to contact all these teacher. Or maybe we can leave my phone number. Okay, I leave my phone number here. Okay, cikgu kalau tak sempat, nanti cikgu contact saya akan kongsikan segala maklumat yang ada. Okay, sebab di website pun boleh, cikgu email saya pun boleh. Telegram, ya, actually kita ada satu channel. Okay, saya kongsikan Telegram juga.
Dalam site boleh masuk ke nanti Cikgu Pang?
Untuk apa?
Telegram. Dalam site nanti boleh masukkan link Telegram lah.
Untuk Telegram, kita masukkan, minta mereka masukkanlah. Saya letakkan link Telegram dalam website juga. Nanti ada apa-apa, kita kontak secara WhatsApp atau melalui Google Site.
Okay.
Ya, untuk pertandingan kita belum buka lagi sebab baru nak masuk bengkel, pelajar masih tak tahu nak buat apa. That's why pertandingan kita belum terima lagi. Okay, kalau nak ikut bengkel pada April, bila saya boleh register? Okay, cikgu mesti register sekarang sebab takut sesi itu sudah penuh. Okay, kita sudah buka semua sesi sehingga Mei. Okay, cikgu sila daftar sekarang. Okay, so 5 kumpulan murid boleh urus oleh pembimbing. Boleh? Seorang guru boleh jaga banyak kumpulan. Okay, link bengkel. Link bengkel, okay. Okay, saya kongsikan sekali lagi link bengkel.
We can also have a useful link di Google site itu. So
actually semua link ada di Google site.
Okay.
Kalau cikgu masuk Google site, boleh.
And also FAQ lah kan. So people can. Okay.
Okay, lagi apa soalan? Okay, guru daftar untuk 2 guru. Apa maksud guru daftar untuk 2 guru? Not warga negara. Okay, for bengkel, no problem. Okay, from Philippines, okay, can join the workshop. But for the competition, you need to represent your institution, okay? There is some criteria about the nationality. Okay, if you are from Philippines but you study in Malaysia, You need to represent Malaysia, you cannot represent Philippines. So that is the criteria that set by ASEAN. Okay, sebab dia ikut institusi. Okay, guru boleh daftar untuk murid sebab ada beberapa soalan yang quite berkaitan dengan guru, dengan pelajar. Kalau guru faham pelajar tersebut, cikgu boleh daftar untuk pelajar. Kalau tidak, minta pelajar sendiri daftar. Okay, Telegram link. Okay, sebab Telegram link saya tak dapat kongsikan share link. Okay, sekejap.
Nanti masuk dalam site.
Nanti saya dalam website.
Nanti semua kita punya penonton boleh tengok dalam site tu lah. Semua kita boleh tengok dalam site tu.
Pertandingan setiap sekolah tiada had untuk hantar kumpulan. Bukan sahaja satu kumpulan, boleh lebih daripada satu. Murid, so cikgu cuba minta pelajar sendiri daftar lah. Nanti dia baru faham apa soalan yang ditanya. Oh, ada cikgu nak masuk tapi okay. So I think semua recording ni nanti kita akan masuk dalam Google Site juga. Okay. So cikgu boleh rujuk balik YouTube recording. Okay, sebab kita nak endkan meeting ini. Boleh kira dalam SPL KPM. Okay, saya kongsikan sekali lagi borang untuk SPL KPM. Okay, email untuk sign up kena pakai MOE. Okay, cikgu cuba sebaik-baiknya pakai MOE sebab kita boleh trace, kita senang untuk trace balik. Okay, kalau satu sekolah hantar 2 atau lebih tim boleh 2, boleh. Kalau 2 tim boleh 2 orang guru, tiada apa restriction. Semasa bengkel bersama pelajar. Apa maksud semasa bengkel bersama murid? Guru hadiah bengkel. Kalau untuk hadiah bengkel, Encik Faizal, adakah dikira SPL KPM? Bagaimana untuk jawab soalan?
Untuk guru? Untuk
bengkel.
guru memang ada.
Boleh ya?
Kita ada masalah. Yang penting CJ nanti dia serahkan kepada SU ladap masing-masing untuk dimasukkan dalam SPL masing-masing.
Ya. Kita akan sediakan
masing-masing lah.
Sekolah masing-masing. Okay, I think kita boleh berhenti di sini. Okay, Encik Faizal, bahagian saya sudah habis.
Okay, alright. Terima kasih Puan Pang, Dr. Leo, Cik Zarudin serta semua wali penonton di atas kerjasama respon. Okay, untuk penonton di YouTube juga, kami ni sebarang persoalan saya telah masukkan dekat situ. Boleh join dalam Telegram. Link Telegram saya dah masukkan dalam chat di YouTube. Boleh join dalam grup tu untuk sama-sama lah memberikan soalan dan pertanyaan dalam tu. Okey, sekian saja saya tangguhkan majlis kita. Okey, selamat berbuka kepada semua. Okey, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera.
Okey, terima kasih. Okey,
Okay, bye-bye.
Terima kasih. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Terima
kasih.
Bye, terima kasih.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Dr. Leo, thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Terima kasih.